And my name is Brandon. I'm here with Jomar and Alyssa, our guests for this evening. Tonight we'll be embarking on a new podcast journey for us. Something a little different than the norm, the usual jokes and banter that we normally would be conducting today will be put on pause for a moment. And our mission here is to talk about the things that our community sees as taboo or the conversations that we deem as unworthy. So our main goal is to give our guests a safe place to come, tell their story, tell their struggles and their triumphs, and hopefully give you insight on your struggles and the things that you may be going through. So at this time, I'm gonna open the floor and I'm gonna pass it to our guest, Alyssa, and she's gonna let you guys know what she's working on.
Well, first I want to say thank y'all for having me. I definitely appreciate the opportunity on the platform. So right now I'm really just working on my own alopecia acceptance journey. It really started as something personal, like, everybody had a rough year with 2020 with COVID. I had a lot of time to myself, a lot of time to my thoughts. And I'm just like, I just felt like I was tired of being regular, like tired of being average. Like, I know I got something in me. I don't know what it is. And I feel like myself and other people may feel the same way, especially when you've like done everything society sort of kind of told you needed to do. And then it's like, okay, I did all that. Now what's next? So I guess throughout all of this, I really just want to create a network for other people that are struggling with the same thing in terms of like, your personal insecurities, things in terms of your conference, anything that's really holding you back from being a better version of yourself, whatever that is. So yeah, ultimately, like long term, I definitely want to work on empowering, creating a network, just doing a little bit of everything.
Right.
I hope that was all right.
That was perfect.
And would that network be like just specifically for people with alopecia, or would it be people dealing with just, the insecurities, like, hey, this is a safe place you can come, you can tell us what you got going on, we can help you get through it?
Right. So right now, I think I am focusing on folks with alopecia, just because even when I first started this and I have been doing like, my social media research, and you see women of color, but you don't really see a whole bunch of women of color. Mm-hmm. And then even in some of the research, it's a lot of women in the UK. So I just really wanted to be able to start something locally.
Right. I
have a good friend of mine, Ayana. We did a live together. She is struggling with lupus, and one of her symptoms is alopecia. So, I definitely want to start with, a network of folks that are directly impacted, but then I definitely wanted to expand to folks that are dealing with all types of struggles, right, all types of insecurity, kind of like, a self-care. I don't want to say self-help, because we're just caring for ourselves. That's what it is. Like, we're just putting a priority to care for ourselves. So ultimately, that's really what I want to do. Just start small and be able to expand it and really just see how the ball rolls. And if it falls in lines with my goals or helps create new goals, then I'm just going to run with that.
Okay. So I was doing a little research earlier today, and excuse me. We've all known each other a decent amount of time. I probably known you longer than Jomar has. And you're real close to our family, and it's been that way for years. So I had no idea that there were different variations of alopecia. And I saw in one video that you mentioned the exact type that you have. Do you care to share with the viewers what that is?
Sure. So I have alopecia areata, areta, concentrated, extreme hair loss. Everything can be impacted, but right now for me, it's primarily like, my head and my legs. I guess the difference in comparison to some other people that struggle with alopecia is like I still have my eyebrows, my eyelashes, like I still get body hair.
Right.
Okay.
It's just in terms of my head, the follicles, the way my immune system's working, that's where it's concentrated the most.
Right. So, like I said, I've known you a long time, and I'm a man. Men are stupid. I had no idea what you were going through maybe until I was in my late 20s. Right. And, we grew up around each other. And as kids, we're not looking at that type of stuff. Like I heard you say in one of your videos, if you're not looking for it, you wouldn't find it. And we weren't looking for it, so we didn't find it.
Right.
And also, you were a happy person. I didn't see a sad side of you. You were always bubbly, always energetic, always happy when we saw you. So to find these things out and to watch the videos and hear about the things you went through as a child, and knowing that I've known you during those times, you know, it kind of hit me a different way because, you know, I didn't know, and I want to apologize because I had no idea what you were going through. And again, I was at that party when the young gentleman got on the microphone and he apologized, and at that time I had no idea what the man was apologizing for, and I remember the reaction of the people at the party and how they cheered him on, like he was doing such a great thing. And now as an adult, and as I sit back and I put myself in that position, I was like, why were we cheering this man for this? You know, and it just brought me to a different place. So do you care to touch into what it was like growing up, and at what point did you decide that this is my mission, I need to speak about what I've been through?
So, well, I got diagnosed fairly young. Like, I didn't notice it right away. I think it started at like a small patch in the back of my head. Like, if I was wearing my ponytail, you couldn't really see it unless I was running around.
Right.
Then it started to get a little more concentrated, but I was still young. Like, I could still wear my hair down, you know, and everything like that. But then as I started getting older, I noticed that it was falling out more, especially when you think about puberty and like hormones and everything else going with your body. It was just coming out progressively. I think I really struggled managing with stress, like especially when you get like 8th grade, high school, and all of that. Like, everybody has this picture about what it's going to be in, just like your life. You have this, like you said, like I presented as being happy, and high key, I was happy. Like, I found ways and moments to not necessarily make that the priority for me, but then you would also have moments that kind of revert you back and reminded you, like, dog, you're going to be dealing with this for a long time. I think I really honestly did not want to make it a mission or be open and honest about it until recently, just because I've had a lot of different personal transitions happening, and like a lot of things that really just had me questioning, like, who are you? Like, I really don't know myself as a person, at least not now. Like, I've changed, I've done a lot of things, and I felt like part of it was being able to deal with the alopecia. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I may have the skills. Yes, I may be able to present well. And I'm talking about having this feeling of greatness, but not knowing what it is. And it's just like, dog, if you can't even look yourself in the mirror, like, if you're not comfortable with you, how do you think you're going to be out here bossing anything?
Right.
So then it just became like, you know what I mean? Putting it out there, I guess, was my own way of like personal accountability, because it's like something like that you can't just put out in the air and then be like, everybody forget about it. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like I purposely did that too, to kind of force myself to stay on it, grow from it, and it's been positive so far. It's definitely been positive so far.
So, are you proud of yourself?
I am.
You are.
I am.
That's good. You should.
Like, even doing this today,
Yeah.
I was like, my mom was like, why are you so nervous? And I'm like, still, because like, it's like, yes, people know me and I've talked about it, but still, even just being in a situation or being in a social setting, even if it's with people that I know, it's still like ripping the Band-Aid off. You know what I mean? Every time. But I'm definitely proud of myself for putting it out there, not running away from it, and being this consistent this long. Like, I know for some people it's just like, you ain't even really did much. No, but when you're putting your personal business out here like this, and to be as honest and consistent with my personal business.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot.
Being transparent is hard on any level.
Anybody.
It is.
Anybody.
Especially when you're doing it on social media, because there's no real way to control who that video goes to, or who sees it, how many times they view it. So, you know, just taking those steps in itself is a huge accomplishment. You should definitely be proud of yourself for even having the strength to put yourself out there like that, because it's hard. You have to deal with the comments. You know, not everybody's nice on the internet. Not everybody sees your struggle as a struggle. You know, they like to laugh at certain things, because that's really what it's turned into. We enjoy when things are happening to people. Hey, did you see this? Did you see that? It's what it's turned into. So it's good that you are taking this step, adding positive content to the timelines, good stuff that we don't mind seeing.
And just to talk about that, and me and Hood had a conversation after you got back from was it Mexico?
Mexico.
And the video that you posted the next day, I had like hit him up because we had talked about you coming on the show for probably a month before that, or maybe even 2 months before that. And I was like, we got to do this now. And the energy in that video. And plus, I had seen your story the entire weekend or however long it was, and you could feel the energy. You could feel how free you were. You could just see it. And then that video, it was amazing. So I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit, but
when I tell you that was like the best experience ever. First off, the reason why I was going was amazing. My god sister got married. I love. So that, and then also being able to spend time with my family that I hadn't seen in a while. It was good for some of us to reconnect. But even before I left, like something in me was just like, we good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I had my scarf in my bag, but even like traveling through the airport, I'm like, nobody really gonna pay you no mind. Like it's like the crack of dawn, like you'll be good. So then even when I landed, it was still something else in me like, you don't need this, John. Like, you good. Like, this, what they call it, the messy pineapple bun. Like, it's working.
Right.
And then just noticing the reaction of no reaction made me feel really comfortable. I was already like, I'm about to be here with strangers. Nobody's really going to see me again. It doesn't matter. But even just being able to see my family and just them looking at me like, girl, like we see this whole thing, like we're so happy for you. It just made me feel good. It just kind of reminded me that like, this does not have to be a big deal, at least not in a bad way.
Right.
So like, I was there with some great people, like again, working on myself, self-care, just really taking the time with my thoughts, my own energy, just being out there in the sun, like the air. Even a picture that I posted on the beach, like, I can't, like, to this day, like, I still can't even describe it. It's like something come out of you and it just, like, it puts you together and then you jump back in and just, like, you all right, you here. Like, I really had a moment. Right. Even coming back, I'm like,
we could tell.
And I was 10.
That's
what I was gliding through my little luggage. It was the best feeling though.
Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure I told you that video like moved me like that morning. Like I hit him up like, yeah, we got to do this.
Yeah, it was every bit at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up here, I just want to, even though you kind of already answered it for us, just want to ask you, what's your goal at the end of your mission?
So at the end of my mission, I do want to be able to create a safe space for any individual that's struggling with something that feels like it's a barrier to them getting to the next level, whether it's personally, professionally, whatever it is, just, to be able to create a space. We all talk about how, we don't want anybody to be the same, but we don't really celebrate different either. And what is the definition of that? Like, you know what I mean? The variety of different. Right. So I want to be able to, just create a space. I want to empower other women, especially when you think about like our self-image and everything like that. Social media is not kind to us. We're not always kind to each other. So just really practicing what you preach, just being able to create a network of other like-minded individuals that want to put out the same energy and get even better energy back in return, and just kind of keeping that going back and forth. That's what I really want to do.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
So again, we appreciate you for being here with us. Traffic was crazy thanks to the president.
Joe, you can't say certain things about Joe.
Yeah, we can't say too much about Joe.
Moneybag Joe.
Right. But again, we appreciate you for coming through. Very, very proud of the things you're embarking on. Glad to be a part of your history and a part of your journey. And at this time, I'd like you to tell the viewers your social media handles. I know on your videos you say that you accept questions and things like that. That does not mean bombard her DMs with all type of crazy questions and things like that. Please be respectful of the young lady.
Please. So far, so good though. Like I haven't had any like negative comments. I haven't had any outrageous DMs.
Per se.
It was one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's always
from
one.
like
It's
overseas, and
always
he was just like, send me pictures of your baldy right now. And I'm like,
I'd have been like, cash out.
Them foreigners is crazy.
And that's how I was just like, we're not doing this. Like, don't even start getting antsy about it, because if it takes off how you want it to, it's going to be more to come. So don't worry about that.
Right.
But yes, right now, definitely keep following me at my Instagram, accepting_Alyssa_always. Alyssa spelled ALYSSA. I'm working on a Facebook page. You know, I really don't want to do anything half-assed. So I know I keep plugging it out there. It's a lot of different things that I want to work on, but, you know, I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. I really want to be prepared. You know, I don't want to miss the ball, but I also want to take my time and do it right. So, yes, holla at me.
We'll make sure we share it out.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So this was a great experience for me. I'm full of love and good energy.
Yeah,
man.
this was amazing.
Thank you.
So again, I appreciate you for coming through and kicking it with us.
I appreciate y'all for having me.
Of course. Again, we plan on doing more things like this in the future. So to the viewers, you know, leave comments. Any questions that you have, you know, make sure you continue to look out for more things of this nature. Again, we want to thank our guests. My name is Brandon. This is Joe Moore. Be safe and love one another.